Welcome back, everyone, to the Cardman's Cards. I am the Cardman, and today we're going to be going over War Rock. It is a battle phase focused deck that activates effects to gain more attack. It's a very beat down strategy. It is consisted of Earth Warrior monsters, as you will see as we go over. I definitely noticed there's two main variants of this deck. One mainly with board breakers like Raigeki, Lightning Storm, all that jazz, and then like I've seen one or two mainly playing hand traps more than board breakers. So like Nibiru, Ash, Valor, Imperm, all of those. If you can see, I have hand traps in the side for right now. If you want to play the hand traps, you can, but I definitely seen more versions of this deck that have better win rates. Using the board breakers instead of the hand traps. Let's go ahead and get into it. So, first up, we have 3 Rock Fortia, a level 4 Earth Warrior effect monster, 17/17. If an Earth Warrior monster battles after damage calculation, you can add 1 Rock card from your deck to your hand, except Rock Fortia. And all Warrock monsters you currently control gain 200 attack until the end of your opponent's turn. This card is sent from your monster zone to the graveyard by opponent's card effect. Measure summon 1 level 5 or higher Warrock monster from your hand or deck. You can only use each effect of Warrock Fortia once per turn. So she is your typical searcher. She allows you to get your other Warrock cards, and then if it's destroyed, allows summon your high level Warrock monsters. I've seen people run her as a 2 of, but I think 2 to 3 is your best bet. Then we next up we have Alrighty. Next up we have Rock Gactos, level 4 Earth Warrior. If an Earth, it is 19/19. If an Earth monster, Warrior monster, is normal summoned to your field, you can summon this card in your hand. If this card is sent from your field from your monster zone to the grave by opponent's card effect, summon level 5 or higher Warrock monster from your hand or deck. You only use this effect of Rock Gactos once per turn. So Gactos is just an additional body if you normal summon any monster. In addition to, if it's destroyed by a card effect, you can summon your level higher, one of your higher bodies. Some people run him as a 3 of just to basically summon off of other summons. A 2 to 3 I definitely would recommend running. You can always run a 3rd. Next up is Rock Wento, a level 4 Earth Warrior, 18/18. If your Earth Warrior monster battles opponent's monster during damage calculation, quick effect, you can pay 800 life points. Your battling monster gains 800 attack until the end of the turn. If this card is sent from your monster zone to the graveyard by opponent's card effect, match someone level 5 or Warrock monster from your hand or deck. Use each effect of Rock Wento once per turn. So, it's not the most useful effect, but there are situations where you want that additional attack gain to really hit over some high-level monsters. In addition to that, it just helps close damage per game. And then she also has the additional effect of like the other level 4s that you can summon a 5 or higher from hand or deck. Easy 1 of. I definitely say Wento is not more than a 1 of. If you want to run 2, you could, just to see it more, but you don't necessarily have to. Next up is another 1 of Rock Orpis, level 5 Earth Warrior, 21/21. If you control no monsters or all monsters you control, Warrior, you can almost summon this card without tributing. If an Earth Warrior monster battles after damage calculation, you can send 1 Earth Warrior monster from your deck to the grave, except Rock Orpis. And all Warrock monsters you currently control gain 200 attack until the end of the opponent's turn. You can only each effect of Rock Orpis once per turn. So you can almost summon him without tribute, and then he has a Foolish Burial effect to gain 200, or all Warrock monsters you gain 200. He's okay. Again, most of the level 5s are alright. I think there's only 1 level 5, maybe 2. They're okay. And we have Warrock. Next one is Rock Skyler, a level 6 Earth Warrior, 22/22. Gains 100 attack for each monster your opponent controls. During a battle phase in which your Earth Warrior monster battles, quick effect, you can target one level 5 or lower warrior monster in your grave, summon it. Also, all Warrock monsters you can control gain 200 attack it from the end of your opponent's turn. Also, the rest of the turn you cannot attack directly with level 5 or lower monsters. You can only use each effect of Warrock Skyler once per turn. Skyler is okay. The only problem with Skyler is that the monster she summons, typically this is a beatdown oriented build, so the monster you're summoning normally can't attack because most of the time you want to be attacking directly or at your opponent. So it's good if you can have the monster you're summoning attack into a body of any kind, but not most of the time, but sometimes it will come up where that monster you summon just can't attack at all. But other than that, it's good because it can get pretty big pretty quickly. And lastly, we have, not lastly, but the second level 5, which you have Rock Mammud, a level 5 Earth Warrior, 2k. You control no monsters, or all monsters you control are warrior monsters. You can almost summon this card without attributing. If Earth Warrior monster battles after damage calculation, you can target one spell's last trap your opponent controls, destroy it. And all Warrock monsters you currently control gain 200 attack into the end of your opponent's turn. You can use this effect of Rock Mammud once per turn. So, he, again, is very situational. He's a spell and trap pop, but only during damage calculation. It kind of makes the deck bad. All their effects are during damage step. So it's not inherently a bad card, just very situational. So, and then we're going to go ahead and move on to the big bosses. We have 2 Rock Bashileos. I think he's level 8. Yeah, level 8 Earth Warrior, 27/27. During a battle phase in which your Earth monster battled, quick effect, you can activate this effect. This card can attack directly this turn. Also, all Warrock monsters you currently control gain 200 attack until the end of the opponent's turn. All those cards in your hand or grave and your Earth Warrior monster is destroyed by battle, that's summon this card, but banishment leaves the field. Each effect of Rock Bashileos once per turn. So this is your big boss monster of the deck. Bashileos is like the leader of all of the Warrocks. So he's really useful to get on the field early, because he can inherently get a big swing at your opponent's directly. So he's an easy 2 of. If you want to run 1 of him and then 1 of something else, you can. But 2 of is very good. And lastly, another 1 of, which is Rock Meteoragon. A level 7 Earth Warrior, 26/26. Can help you destroy by opponent's card effect. When an attack is declared involving this card and opponent's monster, you can negate that opponent's monster's effect this turn. So the activated effects and effects on the field of that monster is the same original name. Once per turn, during a battle phase in which your Earth monster declares battle, quick effect, you make all Warrock monsters you control gain 200 attack into the opponent's turn. Also, this card can bring up 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase. So, it's kind of like an Ancient Gear card, how it turns off monster effects during the battle phase, during damage calc. So it can hit over things like New Bell and things like that, because it technically negates their effects. It's sort of a tower, because it can't be destroyed by card effect, but it can still be swung over. The whole point of the deck is make big attack monsters. So if you can activate a couple effects, he goes from 26 to like 32 pretty quickly. And 32 is kind of hard to swing over. So basically you activate like 3 effects and he's like 3k. No, he's 22, 6, 8. Yeah, if you activate 2 effects, he's at 3k. So you only have to do a third one and he activated his own effect, and now he's at 32. So a little hard to beat over. Definitely the weaker of the two of the big high level monsters between Bashileos and Meteoragon. So he's an easy 1 of. If you want to run a second one, you can. I've seen some lists that run him as a 2 of. I personally don't get why, but I can understand if you would choose to. Next up, we have a sort of a tech card I've been seeing some people run. I find it very interesting. Rookie Warrior Lady, level 3 Earth Warrior, 1018. When an attack is declared involving your other warrior monsters and opponent's face-up monster, you can send this card from your hand or field to the grave, and that monster loses an attack equal to its original attack until the end of the turn. You can banish this card from your graveyard and target one Earth Warrior monster in your grave, add it to the hand, using each effective Rookie Warrior Lady once per turn. So, this is kind of a Earth Warrior hand trap-esque. So whenever a Earth Warrior monster attacks another opponent's face-up monster, you can discard Rookie Warrior Lady to make it drop its attack by its original attack. So basically you're dropping it to 0. So no matter what you're doing, you're basically always hitting for max damage, which is helpful. In addition to that, you can banish it to add any Earth Warrior monster back. I can see this being run as 3 of, if you so choose. I think 2 is good. The last of the monsters, we're running 3 Gameciel, the Sea Turtle Kaiju, just to get rid of your opponent's cards or big tower monsters that you have a hard time getting rid of inherently. Just because that's the deck's one main weakness is a lot of special summons / big tower monsters, because the deck can inherently deal with towers because there's they don't blow anything up, they just swing, and it's kind of hard for them to get super big. Ulti Falcon's 35, you would have to basically activate every effect to get high. But yeah, maybe not for Bashileos, because Bashileos is pretty big. But yeah, it's just a good way to get rid of problem cards. If you could run Pank if you wanted to, Pank's a good option, because Pank is 26, I think, or 27, same as Bashileos. Free summon, and then you can just pop something if you're so inclined. And go ahead and move on to spells. We have 3 Warrock Mountain. It's a field spell. It's their field spell, which is, I really like the art. It's like a big monster thing. I don't know. I guess it's like a tiger cat thing. I don't know. When this card's activated, you can add 1 Warrock monster from your deck to your hand. At the start of the battle phase, if you control no monsters or all monsters you control are warrior monsters, special summon 1 Warrock monster from your hand, a different level than the cards you control. If a warrior monster would be destroyed by battle, or you can send this card to the graveyard instead, and activate 1 Warrock Mountain per turn. So, on activation, it is a search, and then during the battle phase, it's a free summon of any Warrock monster you control. Sorry, any warrior monster. Sorry, yeah, it's a Warrock, my bad. Between the levels that you have. So say, for example, you don't have a level 7, you can summon Meteoragon. Boom. Big body. So this helps you get your monsters out faster, in addition to some of your other effects. Next up is 3 Warrock Dignity. It's a quick play spell. You must control Warrock to activate either of these effects. When a monster your opponent controls activates effect, negate the activation. During the battle phase, when your opponent activates the spell or trap effect during the monster effect, negate that effect. You only activate 1 Warrock Dignity per turn. So, it is a quick play negate for a deck that doesn't really need it, but it's amazing. During any point in the turn, you can just flip it and negate a monster, but during the battle phase, you can negate spell trap or monster. So it's nuts. So if your opponent tries to negate something during the battle phase, it just, nope. Very good card, very easy 3 of. Next up we have Warrock Medium. It's a continuous spell. When your opponent controls a special summon monster and you control a level 7 or higher Warrock monster during the main phase 1, neither player can activate the effects of monsters on the field. During your main phase, you can set 1 Warrock spell / trap directly from your deck except Warrock Medium. Also, you can have special summon for the rest of the turn except warrior monsters. You only use each effective Warrock Medium once per turn. So, Medium is a semi-lock / floodgate with its first effect, because you control a level 7 or higher, which is Meteoragon and Bashileos. During main phase 1, either player can activate effects of those monsters on the field. And then, because it doesn't matter to you, because all your effects trigger in the battle phase. And then during the main phase, you can set any spell or trap you want. So you can basically set your Dignity or Spirit or Mountain or anything you want to help you take to the board. It's a very easy 3-up. I can see 2 if you would rather run some of the other cards. The last Warrock spell we're running is 1 Warrock Spirit. It's alright. I can see where it comes into play, but it's not necessarily like the best. Another quick play spell. During the battle phase, target one Warlock monster in your grave and activate its effect. If on that target in attack position for the battle of their turn, its effects are negated, also cannot attack directly. So it's basically Skyler. So target in defense position. Also the first time each Warlock monster you control will destroy a battle. This turn it is not destroyed. The second effect is where it's more likely going to be used. Summon a monster in defense, and then all your Warlocks are protected from battle. So it's a very situational card, but not inherently a bad card. You can definitely see like, oh, I have that body, that one monster I need to get rid of. Okay, Spirit. Summon back a Warlock monster, and then just have that monster poke at it, and then just swing with everything else. We have 3 Pot of Extravagance. You mainly want to draw into your cards, and you need some kind of draw engine. There's not really a good one anymore for Warriors due to the fact that it's old, and the bamboo cards don't necessarily work anymore, or work that well. So you have Pot. Most of your extra deck is duplicates anyway, so it's not inherently a loss. It's just banish 3 or 6, and then draw 1 card for every 3 banished. After resolves, you cannot draw cards by card effects for the rest of the turn. And then we have a couple of the board breakers running are 2 Raigeki, which is destroy all monsters your opponent controls, 2 Lightning Storm, which is either destroy all types of monsters your opponent controls, or destroy all spells and traps your opponent controls, which is Harpies. Then we have 2 Magnum Shield. This is an equip spell for warriors. Equipped to a warrior monster, apply this effect, depending on its battle position. Attack, it gains attack equal to its original defense. Defense position, it gains defense equal to its original attack. So, it gains the opposite stat. But, for Warlocks specifically, they have equal stats. So, no matter what they're doing, they're gaining whatever the stat is. So, for example, for Bashileos, he's getting 27 no matter what. Because he's 27-27. All the Warlock monsters had the same attack and defense stat. So Magnum Shield basically just doubles their attack, which is nuts. A very helpful card. So basically this turns this into limit removal for warriors, but mainly for Warlock, but you don't have to destroy them. Easy too, if you definitely wanted to drop like Spirit, you can easily throw another 3rd Magnum Shield in the deck. Very easy card to throw in. We have a couple one-ups. We have 1 Harpie Feather Duster, which destroys all spell and trap controls. 1 Rhoda, reinforcement of the army, and a level 4 warrior monster, so it adds Wento, Gactos, or Forte, right? That's this one's name is? Yeah, Fortia, my bad. Fortia. 1 Terraforming, well, to grab Mountain, because Mountain's great. And then 1 Change of the Heart. You can easily change this to another Magnum Shield if you like. But I just figured Change of Heart just to grab your opponent's monster to help break their board. It would be easier. And then another Magnum Shield for damage, I guess. I don't know. It's a personal choice. You can easily change it if you like. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the extra deck. We have... The extra deck is just basically like cards that would be effective but not necessarily super effective. Because the extra deck doesn't matter a whole lot because you don't use it a ton. Other than the fact that, like, get some bodies off the board. But, start off with 2 Divine Arsenal AA ZEUS, Sky Thunder. Once per turn, if an XC monster battle this turn, you can overlay on top of it by using 1 XC monster you control as materials. And the quick effect, you can detach 2 materials from this card, then all the cards on the field to the graveyard. Once per turn, when the card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can attach 1 card from your hand, deck, or extra to this card as material. So it is a board wipe, sends all of the cards to the grave. So again, it's not inherently bad, it's just you're not going to use it all that often. Then we have 1 Heroic Champion, Gandiva, I think is how you pronounce that one. Level 4 Warrior Earth, Ixie, 21-18. Once per turn, materials of 2 level 4 warrior monsters. Once per turn, when a level 4 lower monster is special summoned to your opponent's field, except for your damage step, you can detach 1 material in this card, destroy this special summoned monster. So, this is inherently helpful if you know your opponent summoning like you're against Sprite, and your special summons blue. Boom, blow up the blue. But in that situation, this is when that would come up. It's not inherently like a super common card to use, but it's a very okay going first card. We have a Dweller just to shut off the graveyard, which is level 4 Water, Sea Serpent, Ixie, 17-14. When this card has material attached to it, the originally water, all water monsters in control game attack. And once per turn, quick effect, you can detach one material from this card. Your opponent cannot activate cards in the grave into this turn. Mainly just to shut off decks that use the graveyard. That's all this is meant for. You can easily switch it up. And we have 3 GaGaGa Cowboy, a level rank 4 Earth Warrior Ixie, 1524. 2 level 4 monsters. Once per turn, you can detach one material from this card. Apply this effect depending on the card's current battle position. Attack position. This card attacks during this turn. It gains a 1,000 attack. Also, the opponent's monster does 500 attack during the damage only. Defense. Inflict 800 points to your opponent. 800 damage to your opponent. Ugh, can't talk. So you can either do burn damage for a game or just make him big. Reason he's a 3 of it just because you kind of need to fill up the extra deck. That's mainly. We have 3, a Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. It's a Link 3 Earth Warrior, 3k. So it's a pretty big body. 3 monsters with different names. If this card was Link summoned using level 7 or higher monster as material, opponent cannot target it with card effects, also cannot be destroyed by battle with card effects. So, Meteoragon and or Bashileos as a material, make this guy pretty easily. Make him pretty powerful. When this card is destroyed by opponent's monster by battle, you can activate one of these effects. This card gains 1500 attack. Make this card make a second attack during the battle phase of the next turn. Advantage 1 card in the field. So, basically, whenever it attacks or destroys a monster by battle, you can trigger a bunch of effects. So it's a good card to use if you can use it, but not inherently needed. Next we have 3 Raid 10, the Heavenly General. This card's pretty cool. It is a Earth Link 3 Warrior, 22 attack, 2+ monsters of the same type. Once per turn during the standby phase, you can target one face-up monster this card points to. Special summon one level 4 or lower monster of the same type as the monster from the hand to your zone this card points to at the start of the battle phase. You can target one card your opponent controls, destroy it. With each effect of Raid 10, the Heavenly General once per turn. So, he's inherently a pop if your card points to it, but he also allows you to get another free body from your hand onto the field pretty easily, so it's a good additional card to run if you're so inclined. Again, you do not have to run this. You can easily cut this for anything else that you feel would be more useful, but again, I don't find it too bad. Lastly, we have 2 Ferocious Flame Swordsman, a Fire Link 2. 2 monsters with different names. It has 1300 attack. All warrior monsters gain 500 attack. If this card is Link summoned, destroy by battle card effect while it's in the owner monster zone. You can target one non-Link warrior monster in the graveyard, let it summon it, but banish it when it leaves the field. Each effect of Ferocious Flame Swordsman once per turn. So, it is like the Charmer Links. Oh, sorry, not the Charmer Links. The Attribute Link monsters like Great Fly, Mistar Boy, Mrs. Radiant, all of those guys that attack We Witch's Apprentice, that attack certain attribute, that gain attack for the attributes. Flame Swordsman's in that sense, but he's also, I do believe he is similar to the Charmers in the sense that when he's destroyed, he summons a card. I think the Charmers do that as well. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, I do believe that is it. There is a couple cards I do want to quickly talk about before I end the video. Just a thought, Dark Ruler no more. I know, you don't take any damage, but to build your board, I could see it'd be an okay option. It's not inherently great, but I could see it being somewhat useful, especially if your opponent has a lot of powerful card effects that you can't inherently deal with. Or another card you could easily run is IKS, just to get rid of the entire board. And since you are running a Kaiju, you could definitely run Interrupted Kaiju Slumber and like 2 more Kaijus, which you could easily like cut Spirit and then change a heart to run other Kaijus or something. There's ways to do it, but there's options. And then this card that a friend of mine mentioned when I was told him I was doing this, it is Crossover. It's a normal spell. You can target one face-up monster your opponent controls and one warrior monster you control. Equip that opponent's face-up monster to your monster as an equip spell. And if you do until the end of this turn, your opponent takes no but damage from battles involving that monster you control. You can also activate one. You can only activate one crossover per turn While equipped, if the equipped monster would destroy a battle or card effect, destroy that monster equipped to it instead. So, basically, this treats any other monster like a union. So, for example, say your opponent has Ultifalcon. Not Ultifalcon, that's a bad example. Say you Kaiju their monster. You activate crossover, you target Gameciel, you equip Gameciel to any of your monsters, and then basically Gameciel's going off the board. Granted, they take no damage with that monster, but your opponents open up for complete battle damage. Basically, everything else just goes. Or, say your opponent has a annoying monster that's hard to get rid of. Boom, crossover just takes it. It's not inherently like amazing card, but it's really helpful for situations and interesting ideas. Another interesting idea would be any of the forbidden cards like Lance, Dress, or Chalice, because they inherently give attack, I believe, to monsters. So you could easily trigger, activate forbidden like Lance, I think, gain 500, and then chain one of your high level monsters to basically make sure they're getting even more attack. Just an idea. You don't have to use them again, but I do believe that is everything for this one. Before I go, I would like to apologize for the lack of videos for a while. I got sick at the beginning of June. It is now, I think, the 1st of July. And I lost my voice there for a while. And I could not speak that well, and my voice was really raspy. It's still kind of up and down, as you could probably hear throughout the video. But I just wanted to apologize for that real quickly. Just so you guys understand, I'm not dead. As you see, I've been posting cards and stuff. New cards have been coming out. But I guess until next time, this has been the Cardman's Cards. This has been War Rock. Until next time, like, comment, and subscribe. Keep collecting. Bye.